Modern medicine has gotten very good at answering one question: how do we treat a symptom? How do we bring down a fever? How do we stop the swelling? How do we suppress the cough, the runny nose, the ache? But there's a question that comes before that one, a question that gets skipped almost every time. Should we be treating it at all? Symptoms aren't glitches, a fever, inflammation, fatigue that makes you rest. These aren't your body malfunctioning. They're your body working. They're stages of a defense process that took hundreds of millions of years to design. And every time we reflexively shut a stage down before it finishes its job, we're not just masking discomfort. We may be interrupting a conversation happening between your immune cells, a conversation that ends with your bodybuilding memory. That memory, specific targeted immune cells that recognize a threat instantly the next time it shows up, is the entire reason you don't get the same childhood illness twice. But memory has to be earned. It's built through a sequence. Skip the sequence, and you may still recover from today's infection, but you can walk away with a less trained immune system. So before we talk about how it works, let's understand why interrupting it carries a cost. Here's the sequence. You've had a fever. You felt that ache, that heat. Most people think that's the problem. It's not. It's the plan. Your immune system runs a three-stage defense. Let's break it down. Step one: the moment a pathogen gets in, your immune cells release chemical alarm signals called pyrogens that travel to your hypothalamus, your body's internal thermostat. Your hypothalamus resets its target temperature upward. Think of your body like a house with a smart thermostat. Most invaders are like house guests who only thrive in a specific temperature range. When your body detects an intruder, it just cranks the thermostat up 10 degrees. Suddenly, the whole house is inhospitable. Fever isn't the malfunction. It's the first countermeasure, nonspecific, fast, and brutally effective before your body even knows exactly who it's fighting. Step 2. While the temperature is rising, your bone marrow gets a signal to flood the bloodstream with white blood cells, mainly neutrophils and macrophages. These cells don't ask questions. They rush to the site and start engulfing anything that looks foreign. Imagine a small town that puts out an all call. Every available officer reports to the town square, no questions asked. They're first responders. Their job isn't precision, it's to swarm, contain, and buy time. This is the innate immune system. Then comes step 3: adaptive immunity. This is where it gets technical and where it gets remarkable. If the infection persists, specialized cells travel to the lymph nodes and present pathogen fragments to T helper cells. Once a T helper cell recognizes a specific antigen, it activates two parallel responses: cytotoxic T cells, which hunt down hijacked cells, and B cells, which mass produce antibodies engineered specifically to bind to that one pathogen. If step 2 was the town police, step 3 is the arrival of a specialized task force. Detectives who build a precise suspect profile, print wanted posters, and crucially, they keep the case file permanently, so the suspect gets caught instantly next time. Some of those B cells and T cells don't die off. They become memory cells, which is why your second exposure triggers a response in hours instead of days. The wanted poster is already printed before the criminal ever walks through the door. Notice what that sequence actually is. It's a training program. Line 1 slows the enemy down. Line 2 buys time. Line 3 is where the real prize gets built: a permanent, specific memory that makes you stronger for the rest of your life. Fever changes the environment. White blood cells swarm the threat. Targeted immune cells identify it, remember it, and prepare for next time. It's a sequence that builds something medication cannot hand you. So before we talk about how to treat a symptom, ask what stage of the training program is being interrupted. Sometimes the answer is to intervene, but sometimes the answer is to get out of the way, because your body already knows exactly what it's doing.